Let's be honest. Our information space is dominated by three loud topics. On one hand, we endlessly argue with boomers and their outdated rules for life. On the other, we constantly discuss millennials with their endless soul-searching, anxiety, and burnout. And then we study Gen Z under a microscope, like some new, hypersensitive species that holds the keys to the future. But right in the middle of this informational noise, sandwiched between stubborn boomers and overthinking millennials, is an entire generation that just silently exists. This is Generation X, the people born roughly between 1965 and 1980. These are your senior co-workers who silently carry the hardest projects and never complain about burnout. These are your parents, who sometimes seem just a little bit detached. These are the very people who built the modern internet with their own hands, but who would never even think to post a picture of their breakfast on it. And here is what no one is telling you. Their mindset is the greatest psychological mystery of our time. They are known as the generation of Latchkey kids. Just close your eyes and picture this. It's the late 70s or early 80s. You're 8 years old. The final school bell rings. You walk home, unlock the door with that key hanging on a string around your neck, and walk into a completely empty, silent house. Both parents are at work. You don't have a smartphone in your pocket to text your mom. There's no smart camera on the porch. Nobody knows how your walk home was, or if you're even okay. You heat up your own lunch, sit down to do your own homework, and you wait for the evening. Millions of kids grew up exactly like this, and it forged one basic, unbreakable core belief into an entire generation. You cannot rely on anyone 100%. No one is coming to save you. But that empty house gave them more than just incredible independence. It taught them that every single action has consequences, immediate ones. If you broke a window or got a bad grade, the punishment arrived the second your parents walked through the door. Nobody sat down with you on the couch to process your emotions or find a toxic-free resolution. You just faced the music. Psychologists call this a high-contingency environment. Actions and consequences were linked instantly, with no buffer time. Because of this, the Gen X brain is wired to instantly calculate risks. Today, they are always thinking 3 steps ahead and know exactly where things might blow up. As they became teenagers, the world around them started to break. Society preached the importance of a strong family unit, yet their childhood coincided with a historic boom in divorce rates. They were fed fairy tales about how if you stay loyal to a company, it will take care of you. And then they watched their parents, honest, hard-working people, get laid off. In droves during the first major economic crises. Many people call them pessimists or cynics. They aren't pessimists. They are realists to the bone. They wear heavy emotional armor. They always hope for the best, but deep down, they are ready for everything to fall apart. Because in their lives, it already has. More than once. And this is the exact reason why they are practically silent on social media. They grew up in a beautiful era when your mistakes vanished without a trace. Messed up at a school dance? 5 kids in the neighborhood knew about it. And a month later, everyone forgot. Today's culture, where people dump their trauma and failures in front of millions, isn't freedom to them. It's danger. They learned from childhood. The less people know about you, the better you sleep. So how do they handle stress? Generation X turned sarcasm and irony into the ultimate weapon of self-defense. Laugh it off. Keep your distance. Mock the problem before it can actually hurt you. And it makes perfect sense. These people grew up in the shadow of the Cold War. The TV told them the nuclear button could be pressed at any second, while at school, they were forced to hide under flimsy wooden desks in case of an atomic blast. When the world around you is balancing on the edge of catastrophe, and adults tell you to just stay calm, your psyche learns not to get too attached to things. But despite this fatalism, they developed a fiercely intense work ethic. You won't see them making motivational posts about hustle culture. They just do the work. Their character wasn't forged during internships at trendy startups, but in harsh reality, delivering mail at 5 a.m. in freezing rain, hauling boxes, standing at a fast food register, calculating change in their heads. They were plunged into the adult world while they were still just kids. They have absolutely zero faith in corporate loyalty, but they are fanatically loyal to their craft and their own competence. They know bosses change, companies go bankrupt, crises come and go. They only respect leaders who know how to get their own hands dirty. But the most surprising thing lies in their relationship with other people. It's a stunning paradox. They are the most independent generation in the world, yet the most reliable. They will never ask for help. For them, admitting they can't handle something is like surrendering to the enemy. These are the people who spent hours sitting in libraries, flipping through dusty catalog cards just to find one necessary paragraph of text. Knowledge and skills cost them time and sweat. That's why, if their bike broke, they didn't call a repair shop. They flipped it upside down, got their hands covered in grease, and fixed it themselves. They are used to fixing their own lives the exact same way. But if you need help, they will be the first ones there. No drama, no extra words, no Instagram stories with a helping others hashtag. They will just silently do what needs to be done. Now, they are watching their own kids grow up, and they are giving them everything they were deprived of: hypervigilance, total attention, constant contact. But sometimes, when they are left alone with their thoughts, they worry. Did they make their kids too soft? Did they rob them of that very same harsh school of life that once made them so bulletproof? The truth is, Generation X is quite possibly the last generation on the planet that knows how to be alone with their thoughts, that knows how to be bored, that knows how to solve a problem without typing a question into a search engine. They are the bridge generation. They connected the heavy analog past with our fast digital future. And perhaps the most defining quality of Generation X is that they absolutely do not care whether you say thank you or not. If you recognized yourself, your parents, or your coworkers in this video, subscribe to the channel.